I picked the term joyful movement because we really need to enjoy our lives and enjoy what we do. And some notes here, our movement offers us pleasure. I think that's really important. People don't move for various reasons, but it also offers us identity, belonging, and hope. It puts us in places that are good for us, outdoors in nature, or in an environment that challenges us, or with supportive community, or all the above. So movement offers pleasure and identity and so forth. Joyful movement activities ground us, connect us to the earth, and that creates energy. Fatigue is a common problem for most of us. And people say, I'm too tired to exercise, but then when they move however they can, they generate energy. It allows us to change our energy, loving and living in our body. So we change our energy as we love our body. And for many of us, that's a real problem. We don't love our body. Our bodies doesn't look right, feel right, act right. And we go, oh, that body. But the shift is loving the vehicle we're in and living in it. A walk together can make social connection easier. I really want to emphasize that. I've done many group projects where we talk. And then I've done group projects where I go, let's go for a 15, 20-minute walk together. And the walk together just opens up so much energy, communication, insights. And then an exercise pill would be a poor substitute for physical activity. Rejecting exercise means rejecting significant experiences of being human. And that's from an ethicist, Sigmund Lolland. Movement's a gift of life for us to unpack and enjoy. And at any age, at any stage, at any condition, any movement, intentional movement, creative movement we make is a blessing. So an inquiry. With the food, I said, inquiry. What do you eat that's good for you? What do you eat that you like? And with movement, it's easy to shame people and go, don't you know movement's good for you? Exercise is good for you? Of course, people know that. But my relational approach is to go, what kind of movements do you like or love that work for you? So again, it could be a baby, it could be a teenager, it could be a senior, it could be a junior, it could be an athlete, it could be somebody with multiple handicaps. And then here's a big one. How often do you practice the kind of movement that you like? And for some people, they said, oh, once or twice a week, I do something. I go to the gym, I take a walk. Movement is everyday life. Movement is part of what defines us as living beings. And then the question to the person or the group is, how do you differentiate between joyful movement and exercise? Is exercise something you love, like, tolerate, or dislike? And now we're getting into the emotional, affective side of it all. So somebody might go, oh, I love to exercise, or I like exercise, or I really don't, but I do it, or I just don't like it. And that gives them permission to be who they are. And then given your age, your health status, your mobility, what movement would be, you pick it, rejuvenating and restorative for you. I don't pick it, you pick it. And then if you are experiencing exercise resistance, it's common. What mindset goes with that? What would inspire you to enjoy more joyful, creative movement? A partner? Scheduling time? A mind shift? Or incentives and rewards? And if so, what might those be? Of exercises that can reduce stress and ward off anxiety and feelings of depression. That's huge. So many people are suffering from mental health issues. It can raise endorphins, which are natural painkillers, boost self-esteem. I always feel really good after I exercise about myself. Increase energy level, improve cognitive performance and creativity, and also improve immunity, vitality, circulation, and metabolism. So it's good. And then the question is, how much for whom? So here's a concept you may have heard, and this is from a published article, and the citations on the bottom. An exercise snack, a novel strategy to improve cardio, metabolic health. So cardio is the heart, cardiovascular, metabolic is the energy production. And many people, the people who have obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular, immune issues, et cetera, which is all of us, we have some degree of cardiometabolic concern. And then this is interesting, an exercise snack, as defined strictly by this study, was an isolated 1 minute or less bout of vigorous exercise performed periodically through the day. Now think about that, 1 minute of really busting out high intensity exercise for 60 seconds. And then the authors hypothesized that exercise snacks are feasible, well tolerated, time efficient to improve this cardiorespiratory fitness, reduce negative impact of sedentary behavior on this cardiometabolic health. Efficacy has been demonstrated in small proof of concept studies. What we're doing here is a small proof of concept study. We want to show integrative wellness has impact and outcome. Additional research should investigate this physical activity strategy. The feasibility and time efficiency of exercise snack make them suitable for incorporating between activities of daily living, therefore alleviating the need for planning and allocating leisure time for structured exercise. So think about, just like we have a snack break, a coffee break, a tea break, now we can have an exercise snack for a minute or so. So an exercise snack, and there's a picture of, a middle to elderly person talking about sit to stand, push-ups on the counter, single leg strand, loaded carries, weights, well, angels. And then what I wrote on my own with this is it's brilliant because we can do it to our own capability. And for me, it's not 1 minute of high intensity, it's 3 minutes of moderate intensity because I'm not that wound up. I don't get that wound up. So if I get out off the computer and I stand up and I move around, or I just walk in place rather vigorously, or I do some kind of exercise and I set the timer for a minute or two, it's really very, very useful. And then all of these things are better done in group. So an individual practice has value. The value typically expands when there's 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 50 people doing some kind of structured activity together. It just pulls us into this kind of living organismic being. So here's a movement practice we can all do. It's called smiling. So I encourage you to smile and keep smiling while I'm talking. And smile into your day and smile into your troubles. I remember I saw someone who was smiling, and it wasn't a laughter yoga. It was just somebody who was joyful and loving. And she was speaking about hardship and she had a smile. And I went, wow, that's really evolved. But she knew that the smiling supported her brain to make neuropeptides to fight off stress and to create dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. This is pretty well studied by now. Endorphins are mild pain reliever. And one study suggests smiling can help us recover from stress and reduce our heart rates. I have many clients whose heart rates are going nuts right now, and they have fibrillations, and they have arrhythmias, and they have, all kinds of cardiometabolic dysfunctions. And even with medication, they're not smiling because we're in this global situation that scares the living poop out of us and puts us in a corner and makes us feel like it's overwhelming. But if we can show up with smiles and love, it improves our disposition. Another study linked decision-making, processing, and learning to the release of dopamine triggered by happiness. So smiling can also make you more creative, efficient worker or life partner. So think about being in a conflict and switching on the smile and connecting to someone and listening and not arguing, defending, taking sides, running back the story, expressing your feelings, just being attentive with that good smile going. And I'll say for me, I wasn't a smiley person. I look at my pictures as a kid, I didn't smile much. I look at my young adult stuff, I could crack a little grin. But as I stepped into my being as a leader, I smile all the time. And smiling has youthed me substantially. And it's that neuroendocrine effect of keeping a smile on. And breath and movement and mindfulness all together creates a synergistic effect, and it's infectious. Smiling is infectious. So I will pass the podium to my dear colleague, Christina.
Hey everyone. So just kind of continuing with the theme of joyful movement, another way that we can engage in joyful movement is through a process of creative dance. A lot of us think when we think of dance, we think of like going to a nightclub and like rocking it out and dancing at a nightclub, but actually that's just one type of dance. Creative dance is really moving the body in any creative way, fast, slow, medium, feeling as if we are moving as human beings or imagining that we are inhabiting some other life form or creature. It's really just a form of creative dance that uses rhythmic, patterned, or improvised body movement. And creative dance is one of the oldest art forms that's found in every culture of the world. So every different culture has examples of different creative ways to move. And some benefits for creative movement, both kind of mental and physical. Physically, it helps to relieve stress and anxiety. So it's almost a way of kind of coming out of our own body and then just inhabiting like another space. And then through that creative movement, we're able to just kind of calm our bodies and come to a relaxed state. It's also interesting. It also helps to, particularly those that engage in theater or role playing exercises where you're pretending to be someone else or moving as someone else, that it helps to exhibit word and listening recall, problem solving, self esteem, and psychological well being. So even going so far as, like I said, to engage in some sort of role play with dialogue as an actor or in, just improvising a scene with someone else has amazing health benefits. I just have some examples of what are different types of creative movement. So yoga and Tai Chi are creative movements. Again, any form of dance is considered a creative movement, and then also theater. And then very closely connected with creative movement is also music, because oftentimes when we are moving creatively, there might be some music in the background that's also helping with rhythm and helping us get a sense of, again, how fast or slow are we moving or in what way are we moving. But even in the absence of movement and just experiencing music on its own, just as we say that food is nutrition for the body, I always say that music is nutrition for the soul. Science continues to support the use of sound and music as a therapeutic form of healing. There is anecdotal evidence that music supports amazing recovery from serious ailments. So, pain management is a huge benefit of either engaging in music or listening to music can really help to recover from pain management. And sound healing and frequency medicine have been gaining in popularity among the alternative healing communities and integrative medicine practitioners. So, music is actually now starting to be prescribed as a remedy for pain. Some other benefits of music is that in many ways, kind of going back to even that cultural aspect of movement and music, that it can transport us to another place. I went to graduate school in Ireland, and from then on forth, every single time I hear any bit of Irish traditional music or Celtic music, I mean, it just instantly takes me back to my time in Dublin and all those experiences that I had in Dublin, from the friends I made to the food I ate to the tourist things that I got to see to my studies at the university. All of that just kind of comes back to me in a very nostalgic way listening to music. So it can be a great way of recalling or bringing up things or experiences that we've had that allow us to kind of re-experience those things. And it also elevates our mood, depending on if we're listening to music that brings us to kind of a happy, cheerful state. Maybe I want to get up and, dance or be happy. Or if I'm sort of in a sad state, I can put on a piece of music that has sort of an allowance of me to just sit in that sadness, that maybe whatever the rhythm or tone of that music will just be a very cathartic experience for me. And I'm able to just sort of sit with those emotions that I'm feeling, and the music is just helping me work through them. So music serves as cathartic release. And that also helps to restore emotional balance and again relieve stress and anxiety. And then something else that music I think really helps us with as well is even allowing us to be in a state of reflection. A lot of times we have so much stuff on our minds, and it can be very mentally distracting to have so much on our minds. And when we sit and listen, particularly to a piece of like kind of quiet, serene, or peaceful music, again, putting us in that relaxed state, it also opens up the mind to be able to think about things more clearly and focus on things more clearly, and giving you that time to just sort of reflect, okay, where am I right now? How am I feeling? What is going on? Another really powerful exercise is even just sitting down and closing your eyes. And as you're listening to the music, do a body scan. How do my toes feel right now? How do my feet feel? And work your way all the way up to your arms and your chest and your face and your head. So, doing some sort of check in with your body, or even just a check in with your heart. How am I feeling right now? What's happening with me right now? What do I need right now? So, music can be a very powerful way to engage in a state of reflection and just allow yourself that time to reflect. And then on this last slide, just some examples of ways to engage in music. Playing musical instruments is a really powerful way to tap into that energy of therapeutic healing. Singing, and then I don't mean professionally singing. I mean, girl, put that music on and sing like no one's listening. I mean, just belt it out. Enjoy the process of singing along with whatever singer you're listening to. And then also just listening, even if you're not singing along, just the act of listening to music, again, can be really therapeutic. So, with that, I want to turn it over to our dear friend Corey, and she's
Yeah.
actually going to take us through a creative movement activity.
So first of all, what we're going to do is called spinal cord breathing. And a lot of this is just opening your pathway. So we're going to come and, we stay with our legs kind of hip distance apart, a little loose, a little bit of bend, just relaxing the neck and the shoulders and everything, just kind of get loose. We're going to come in and bring our hands in like this, and then just bend down slightly and look down at the floor. Come up. And while we're doing that, we're breathing in and then tensing here, breathing out. So let's do this about 4 to 5 times more. Breathe in. Now, someone mentioned about breathing. Just breath work alone can get your energy pathways moving. We're just breathing up and then let it go. We want to use our full diaphragm here. Just get the whole diaphragm pushing down and then opening up. So we're opening up. We can breathe in through our nose and then let out through our mouth. Okay, now we're just going to shake that out. So the other thing we're going to do is one of the things that I really love, and it's very relaxing, and it's called water waves. So that we're going to start slow, and then we'll kind of pick it up the pace a little bit. So we're kind of like move our arms like if you're going in the ocean in the water, you're just pushing the waves, and very, very relaxing, right? So just close your eyes, think about, oh, I'm just pushing down the water, and begin to just kind of move and look over your shoulder. Sometimes I do this with music too, because I love music and dance. And that's probably one of my favorite exercises. So if you can do this to music, it's even fun. Okay, so now we're going to do that, and we're just going to speed it up a little bit, and we're looking over our shoulder and just get a little more range of motion in there. Again, but keep it relaxful, because remember, we're winding down from the day. Coming like this, moving through. So one arm's going up, the other one's coming down. Up, and then breathe in, and then down. and then down. Okay, we're going to transition. Let's just shake that out for a minute. Let's just transition. The other thing we're going to do is called letting go, because like I said, we're going to let go of stuff we don't need today, get ready for the evening, because when we get ready for bed, we want to be able to relax. And by the way, I do use music to fall asleep and get meditation going before I go to bed. So this thing is we're going to do a movement where we're lifting our arms up and then we're going and just down. So just go up and then just let it go. So you breathe in and then put it up through your mouth. So in through your nose and then let it go. So let's just try in, and you can just bend your knees as you go down. In, and you want to smile, right? If you smile when you do this, you feel it. Okay, so this is just letting it go. And then again, we can take this one and do the same thing. We can come to the side and swing up and swing down. So we come to the center, we can go like that, and then we come up to the center, and then up. Let's do this a couple more times. In, out, bring it in, and out. So get your breath going. You can go at your own pace, but I encourage you to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Okay, a couple more times. Just enough to get some energy flowing. Okay, now we're going to take that out. All right, the other thing I want to do is just, this is called spread the feathers. But we're going to, and what this does is stretch these meridian lines through your arms, and you're kind of opening up your shoulders, loosening your neck. You know, at night, if we're sitting at our desk all day, we're kind of stiff through here. So we want to kind of loosen that up. So one way we can do that is almost like a bird spreading feathers. We're going to do it by yin and yang. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to bring them like this and then put them back like that. Stretch our neck side to side, just very gently, breathing in and out. And we'll just go side to side. You can take it and roll your chin down. That's another way to do it if that feels more relaxing. Just kind of roll. And when you're doing it, you feel like you should be stretching right through here and right through here. Now there's a couple ways you could do this. You could do one side all at the same time. I tend to go around and just do the whole thing. And my neck kind of crunches sometimes when I do this, but anyway, hopefully that'll loosen it up. I just want to give you a couple samples of these, and you can try these at night before you go to bed. Okay, a couple more times, just one more roll. All right, now we're going to do it the other way. The other way you can do this, so we went like this, and now we're going to go, oh no, I'm sorry, we came like this, and then we're going to go take our hands now and kind of come around like that and out. So we're going to take our hands, we're going to start here so you can see them, down and around and up. That gets the yin meridians on the inside. We were getting the yang, which is the external meridian lines. This brings the internal one. So we're moving energy through these lines, giving circulation. So we're diving back like this, moving our hands and then turning. It actually makes a difference. I don't know if you can feel that. Can you all feel that? It's a little bit different and you're looking up. Again, you keep your legs relaxed when you do this. So like you're swimming and then opening up. Swimming and then opening up. I like this because it just opens my shoulders. It gets the energy flowing, helps you let go. That's called spreading the feathers. That's what that's one of the common names for it. And then just to kind of finish up, we got a couple little short moves. The most fun thing to do, and you can do this with, you can just shake. When you shake, you just let everything, all the tension come out, release. You can do it. I put music on a lot of times when I do this. Just shake your head, whatever feels good. Just let it all go. And just shake it out. It's just called shaking. It really takes those, this is one of the things that does help release endorphins and serotonin from the brain is Dr. B mentioned earlier, it just releases it all out and you can laugh, giggle. But it always reminds me when I was a little kid, jumping around doing stuff. So just think of what brings you joy in doing that. What does it remind you of? Or before you're ready to run a track race or something. Okay, so now we're going to flow it down. We're going to get the flow movements, calm us
That's
down,
fun, Corey.
and finish. We have one clearing to do. We're just going to come up and then breathe down. And that gets you grounded with this a couple times. And then just push the energy down. You're just getting grounded. One more time. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our hand, put it here under your, what they call the dantian, which is one of the major energy points in the body. Right hand there, left hand up, coming down. This gets you in the present moment. Curve that, take your other one up, and then just bring it right down your center. I think when you're doing that, it's very easy to stay in the present moment because you're focusing on bringing that down. One more time up on the right. And one last time on the left. And we're breathing in. Take our hands, rest them here. And hopefully you're feeling some energy in your hands and getting a little bit more relaxed for the evening. Thank you.
Good one, Corey.
Thanks.
Thank you
very much.
That was
How you feeling?
awesome.
You
To
feeling
try
a
with
little
music next
livelier?
time. What's that?
Everybody feeling a little livelier?
Yeah, I feel like a little bit. We'll be relaxed, I think,
I like
later
that
on.
at this time of day. It's a
Nice,
good
joyful movement.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's fun to do.
So friends, what's your commitment this week? What are you going to do around joyful movement and creative expression, art, music? How are you going to practice? What are you going to plug in? Somebody, let's
I'm gonna
hear
plug in-
let's see the
I
group
like-
that's going to improve my health. So let's again hear about how we can carry the lesson forward today and bring it when we need it. Because sometimes we do meditation in the morning, but all day long, it wears off. So these exercise snacks, movement practices, creative expression are things we can apply as need for a rather short period of time, and it can bring us back into center.